Climate change has been debated and is one of the most pressing challenges of our time, affecting every corner of our planet. In this video, we will take you through some of the major changes that Earth's climate has experienced, the scientific evidence that supports these observations, and the actions that can be taken to slow or reverse these effects. By breaking down complex topics into simple terms, we'll explore how human activities have driven these changes and what strategies are being developed to tackle this worldwide problem. Over the past 100+ years, Earth's climate has changed in many noticeable ways. Since the late 1800s, the Earth's average surface temperature has increased by approximately 2 degrees Fahrenheit, or 1 degree Celsius. This may not seem like a big change, but it has had significant effects on our planet. The upper layers of our oceans, about the top 100 meters, have warmed by 0.67 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0.33 degrees Celsius, since 1969. This increase in temperature has affected marine life and our planet's weather patterns. The large ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica have been losing their mass, meaning they are melting at an alarming rate. This contributes to the rising of our sea levels. Over the last century, sea levels around the world have risen by about 8 inches. This is mainly due to the melting of ice sheets and glaciers and the expansion of seawater as it warms. We are seeing more frequent and intense heat waves, droughts, and heavy rainfall. These extreme weather events are a clear sign of a changing climate and cause devastating impacts on communities and ecosystems. There is a lot of scientific evidence showing that climate change is real, and that human activities are one of the main causes. The increase in greenhouse gases, such as the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, has increased from about 280 parts per million to 410 parts per million in 2019. Most of this increase is due to burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. By studying the ice core data from Greenland and Antarctica, scientists can see how Earth's climate has changed over thousands of years. The data show that when greenhouse gas levels go up, the climate warms. Evidence from tree rings, ocean sediments, coral reefs, and sedimentary rocks reveals that the current rate of warming is much faster than what typically happens after an ice age. Satellites that are orbiting the Earth have provided us with more data on key climate indicators such as temperature changes, rising sea levels, and shrinking ice sheets. Around 97% of climate scientists agree that recent climate warming trends are most likely due to human activities. This shows there is a strong consensus among world experts that climate change is happening and that humans are mainly responsible for much of it. There are many ways we can work to reduce the impact of climate change. We can cut down on carbon emissions by switching to more renewable energy sources like solar and wind, making buildings and transportation more energy efficient, and by putting a price on carbon emissions to encourage businesses and individuals to help by polluting less. Protecting our forests, wetlands, and other natural areas that act like carbon sinks because they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. By protecting these areas and restoring damaged ecosystems, we can help slow down climate change. Our farming practices can also be improved to reduce emissions and increase the amount of carbon stored in the soil. This would include reducing fertilizer use, planting cover crops, and using more sustainable methods of growing food. There are new technologies that are being developed to capture carbon dioxide from the air and store it underground, which could help reduce the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. By making small lifestyle adjustments, individuals can collectively contribute to the fight against climate change, even with just a little effort from everyone. This may include using public transportation or electric vehicles, reducing energy consumption, eating less meat, and cutting down on waste. While completely reversing climate change is very difficult, there are ways to slow down and reduce its impacts. A long-term commitment is needed to slow down changes like rising sea levels, which are expected to continue for hundreds or even thousands of years, even if we stop emitting greenhouse gases right now. Scientists are concerned about tipping points in the climate system. These are thresholds that, if crossed, could lead to sudden and irreversible changes. For example, the melting of the polar ice caps could reach a point where it accelerates and cannot be stopped. By drastically reducing carbon dioxide emissions, there is a potential we could slow the rate of warming and eventually stabilize our global temperatures. However, this requires a strong and sustained effort from most countries around the world. For thousands of years, natural processes like the growth of forests and the absorption of carbon by the oceans could help remove excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Negative emissions technologies are being developed to remove carbon dioxide from the air, but these are still in the early stages and face many challenges in being deployed on a large scale. In conclusion, the evidence for human-caused climate change has been overwhelming, but there are solutions that can slow it down. We have to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, sustainable practices, so we can mitigate its worst effects. However, to make a significant impact, large-scale changes need to happen quickly. With collective action, we have the potential to prevent the most severe consequences of climate change. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.